It's the midst of 2020, and people are going around with their days stuck at home with little to nothing to do. Whether it's cooking or playing games, it really just depended on the person. One of these people was named Aaron, who was a Robloxian who got very close to losing everything he had. From having plenty of friends, to losing all but one, to eventually getting back after such a close call. He was anything but just an ordinary player. You'll get to know more about this soon, so stay tuned. Stuck in his house with nothing to do but play games, he logs into Roblox for his first time, having learned about it from one of his friends. Learning how to play the game for the first time, he tried out one of those generic copy and paste obbies at first, but eventually started leaning into more genuine games, like Phantom Forces and 3008. Playing game after game, he started to truly learn just how to pass the time, as COVID was still amongst everyone. Anyhow, he switches avatars, hops into Roblox, and starts meeting friend after friend. 2021 hits, and Aaron was still playing Roblox. Car Crushers 2, Item Asylum, you name it. He always loved some action in his life. Later on, he even got gifted some Robux because one of his friends just felt pretty nice. We'll call this friend Matthew for now. Matthew was one of Aaron's close friends, having known him since the very start of middle school. It felt as if nothing would happen, and the two would just continue socializing online. Aaron and Matthew continued to play, as usual. They met Robloxian after Robloxian, whether it's through some social interaction game or by just trolling in some random roleplay game. The two didn't really care. As long as they had fun, it was all good. After all this, Aaron got encouraged to start preparing for life outside of Roblox. He sat down, relaxed, and looked at the ceiling, wondering what to do. He decides to start a YouTube channel. Aaron set up his PC, got a recording software, and complained to his dad for 20 minutes to do it for him, since he didn't know what he was actually doing. Once he was ready, he started to record his gameplays on Roblox. While he wasn't getting that many views at first, he still felt pretty happy doing it. He feels that he's just doing something successful in his life. After some time, he gets close to 100 subs, seeing his efforts eventually pay off after playing many games with Matthew and his other friends. He even eventually starts to try editing his videos, attempting to make something better than just a bunch of jump cuts and wild laughter. While it still wasn't anything huge, it was still a pretty significant jump. Going from just a few views to over a few hundred, he felt pretty happy, knowing that hundreds of people were now viewing his fun work. It's 2022, and Aaron is still recording and editing for his YouTube channel. Making video after video, he feels delighted knowing he's having tons of fun working towards something he's passionate in life, while also still having fun with as many close friends he's made throughout the small, but meaningful journey. There hasn't been much in life that has happened yet besides more and more fun. Although, there is something outside the channel that's been quite stressful lately. As Aaron moves into sophomore year of high school, he gets faced with more work he has ever had to do. All of a sudden, he went from to it changed significantly, and not for the good of his mental health. Because of that, he wasn't sure if he had to put his channel aside for a bit, considering he had to look around to see how to get caught up with all these classes. Day by day, week by week, his grades started to dangerously go low, which was something he was especially not looking forward to. Because of the way he grew up with rather strict parents, he always had to maintain relatively high grades of at least a B+ and above. Some classes would even have to be as high as an A, which was especially difficult to manage considering he still loved to play games often. It was personally difficult for him to have high grades while also running his YouTube channel. Knowing he has lots of fun to his friends, it was quite difficult for him to choose between having a good friendship or good grades for his school. Not to mention, but he's also heard of some other teens around his school who do the same, if not even more things than he already does. He wants to learn from them so that he doesn't have to sacrifice one or the other, but he's just not sure on how to ask. Anyhow, he almost just lost it. Covering himself in bed, he feels stuck in where he is. His friends are waiting, and so is he, but he hasn't been able to do much about his schoolwork. He just puts it aside for a bit, so he can at least play a few games with his friends to record a session here and there. Welcome to 2023. Aaron is still facing a couple issues with his schoolwork, but he's eventually getting through it. He starts to slowly introduce his channel back into his life, wanting to get back into posting for his fans. After receiving a better PC and monitor for his Christmas present last year, he starts to learn how to improve his videos. Whether it's editing, saying something more relatable, or just better thumbnails, he was always trying his best. Eventually, his videos even started to get thousands of views for his work. And that was when he started to feel some hope. Hope that things were getting a little better now. That changed. Significantly. It was just another day, and Aaron was just doing his typical thing. go to school, get home, and record a new video. Nothing special, for now. He sits down and records with his friend, as per usual. After the two were laughing themselves off over some weird glitch in Brookhaven, they eventually stopped, and just had a chat off camera. They were talking about whatever, only some special things here and there. His friend even mentioned about someone else who recently passed away, someone named Sophia, and he knew about her for a little bit before she suddenly had to leave for something. Aaron and his friend had a moment, giving respects for her passing. His friend, however, wanted to mention something a little related. He didn't want many people to know about it, however. They told Aaron privately, just wanting to get it off his chest. It was something related to a friend group that was once with Sophia, but it wasn't anything positive. Safe to say, he felt shocked inside, not too sure on how to react. However, attempting to keep his composure, he just nods it off, knowing it must have been something difficult. Although, before the two went on their way, his friend did mention something quite briefly. Aaron still isn't sure how to exactly deal with what he was told a couple days ago. Since he doesn't go to many of his friends for issues like these, he just tries to eventually forget about it. Distracting himself with the game, just focusing on schoolwork or cleaning up the house, anything he could do to really clean up the mess that he was just told. However, even with all these, there really just wasn't enough to satisfy him. He knows that he's not supposed to tell anyone about the situation at hand, but at this point, he just couldn't stand it, and wanted to talk to someone else besides that same friend about it. He talks to his fans about it. Wanting his voice to be heard, he wanted to spread the message, as hopes to help others hear him. It was something that people could learn from, so that others don't make the same mistake. He hopes no repercussions happen from posting, safely assuming that things won't worsen because of it. Nope, things got worse. That same friend watches the video regarding it, and is instantly shocked to hear from it. Having heard enough, he immediately goes to Aaron and lashes out on him for it. Things start to unnecessarily escalate, and not for the better. Since then, Aaron has had to face difficulties with his friends and fans. With little to no one to go to, he was only holding on to a string for life. If it were to snap loose, he would fall into the spiral of insanity and never be seen again. He looks up, just praying that things were to change. That same friend that found out not too long ago made sure that everyone knew about the mistake he made. Lies were thrown, rumors were made, and they were all made to look real, when, in reality, it was covering up a face of despair that hadn't deserved what happened. His friend from earlier had spread rumors about Aaron, feeling distraught, knowing that he was betrayed from him. Having felt a sense of hatred, he didn't trust him anymore, which is why all the rumors started to spread. Aaron went from having a loving community and many close friends to having almost no one to go to. He was heartbroken, thinking that his whole life was just taken at this point. Although, there was still one person that he had. That person was Matthew. Remember him from earlier? Well, he was still here, even after all that happened. While he was still gone for a little while because of his own issues, he eventually came back, realizing the situation Aaron was in. Matthew wanted to be that one person he could go to, even with all the rumors that came up. He didn't believe any of it, thinking that they were all false, and rightfully so, because they were. Let's move into that, shall we? It's 2024, and there's a lot of room for improvement before things are resolved. Aaron is still facing extreme loneliness, and feels more depressed than he ever has in life. Matthew does his best to comfort and help him get through his problems in life. The two first try to start disproving the many lies they face, knowing that they were false, and were exaggerating only a single mistake that was made, and that was telling his audience about the mistakes a certain friend group made. They still felt a sense of confusion, not sure why a friend would be so mad over something like that. Anyhow, they do what they can to disprove it, whether it's through making a video together or simply spreading the message in Discord. It starts to slowly work, seeing that many of his friends who once turned on him started considering to apologize after the whole ordeal. Since the unnamed friend had no direct proof of the majority of his lies, it was rather easy to disprove. They then started to work on social skills, practicing on how to talk to others and learning to become more comfortable with opening up. Day by day, Aaron starts to get a little bit more hope within himself as things start to look a little better. There was hope. Hope that things were finally starting to improve. Although, he and Matthew are still patiently waiting to this day, seeing that things are improving little by little. Aaron was at the lowest point of his life late 2023, feeling nothing but extreme loneliness and depression. He once thought that nothing was going to improve, and yet, he was able to get back up and start changing with the courage of a close friend. From a positive player to a broken heart, from a broken heart to a hopeful mind. He started to get closer and closer towards happiness again. He came out, and his voice was heard.